What is going on, everybody? This is Soccer Junkie, and today I am bringing you my review of Manchester United's latest Premier League clash against Crystal Palace, which ended in a 1-0 victory for Manchester United. Now, before this game started, going into the game, on paper it looked like Manchester United gonna run all over Crystal Palace and score a whole bunch of goals and really win easily. But you know what? Games are never won on paper, and at the same time, looking at the way Crystal Palace played, sure, they're at the bottom, sort of at the bottom of the league, but that doesn't mean they're playing bad football, and I don't believe they do. As a matter of fact, I think they should be higher up the ladder, but that's just my opinion, and hopefully they will be doing that because, you know, Crystal Palace is one of those teams that I really respect, you know, in the Premier League. I do respect all the opposition, but at the same time, I gotta say, Crystal Palace for me is one of the teams that I don't want to see go down, you know, to the championship level. Daley blinked and Paddy McNair started as a new center defensive pairing. Once again, this I think makes it 10 different defensive center backs pairings in the Premier League for Manchester United this season. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I think that is the number. And really, there's no stability at that position at the moment for United. You got players injured, you know, left, right, and center. Marcus Rojo, Johnny Evans, Chris Smalling got suspended for his stupidity against Manchester City. It was really important for Manchester United to really get a clean sheet and show that they can, you know, do a defensive job well. And that's what they were accomplished today. And which is, you know, that's awesome to see. United played with a bit of unbalanced, you know, line today, in my opinion. You know, you had Michael Carrick making his first start in the Premier League for United this season as a center midfielder, but at the same time, you also had Di Maria, you had Fellaini, and you had Januzaj playing kind of in the midfield, but at the same time, they're all were kind of attacking players. You know, they were all going forward and really leaving Carrick the only sort of midfielder in the center. For me, it might have not been the best of ideas in terms of putting the team aside like this. The first chance of the game fell to Adnan Januzaj, who really did have a good game in my opinion today. You know, he did get subbed off in the second half, but I thought he did well today. You know, he ran past the defenders, really trying to create something, you know. Sure, a couple of his passes could have been better, and a couple of, you know, his shots could have been better as well, but that first shot that he had, I think it was like in the second minute of the game or even before that, with his left foot, really squeezing, you know, past the left side of the top corner of the goal, you know, really could have opened the score right there, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. And you know, at that point in the game, I thought, okay, Manchester United are definitely going to win this game because we already had, you know, put some pressure on them. And West Bromwich for me looked very nervous, you know, punching. And Bolasie, they seemed very hesitant to go at, you know, Valencia and Shaw, especially Valencia. I mean, he's not a right back, so you should not feel threatened by him as a defender. You should go at him all the time. At least that's what I would have done if I was the opposition, but unfortunately they did not do that at all in this game. And quite frankly, Valencia did have a really good game as a right back, so that's not really nice to see, but he is not a right back by any means at all. Now, Robin Van Persie could have opened the scoreline when he had the ball on the left side of the pitch. You know, he dribbled past a couple of defenders, had a shot on goal. It was going in, but Marouane Chamakh basically kicked the ball off the line. For Crystal Palace's sake, Chamakh was there to clear the ball off the line. Really, you know, good on his part, I guess. And you know what? Crystal Palace really struggled to get any sort of possession of the ball in that first half. I mean, I think they only had like 25% possession, which is like, boom, mind-boggling. It was crazy. It was Manchester United all day, you know, bossing it around, you know, trying to break down this Crystal Palace defense. And I gotta say, Crystal Palace really did a great job in terms of making sure that they kept their shape and really absorbed the pressure like a sponge and did not break. Crystal Palace really played behind the ball throughout the whole game, especially in that first half, trying not to concede the first goal. And because they knew if they don't concede the first goal and the longer game goes on, if the fans, you know, may get frustrated and the pressure will build up on Manchester United players to produce something. And that's what have happened in this game, but unfortunately for them, they were not able to seize this game through. But you know, at the same time, this is a well-deserved victory for Manchester United. If you are somewhere, you know, in this planet or thinking Manchester United did not deserve to win this game, you are a crazy person in my opinion, because Manchester United totally dominated this game from the start to finish. Totally had control of the ball. Although I must say, despite having all kinds of possession, Manchester United should have done a lot better in terms of goal scoring. They did go forward a few times, you know, they created chances, you know, it was really close shots, you know, Speroni had a decent game, or Speroni, whatever his name is. basically Crystal Palace goalkeeper. He did have a decent game except for that one, you know, shot, but we'll get into that later. This is not, you know, Chelsea. This is Manchester United. The fans are expecting for Manchester United to win games by 3, by 4, by 2 goals, you know, at a time, because Manchester United always played attacking football. Yes, Sir Alex Ferguson had, you know, a defensive structure that he liked, defensive midfielders or whatever that he liked to play, but he always were more concentrated on attacking style of football, unlike Jose Mourinho. So, you know, really, you know, you gotta pick and choose here. And for me, you know, sure, it was 1-0 victory, but at the same time, you know, I was, as a Manchester United, long-time Manchester United fan, I was expecting more. I was expecting 2-0, 3-0 maybe, but at the same time, you gotta give credit to Crystal Palace. They did a tremendous job in terms of observing the pressure, like I said, and trying to force Manchester United into, you know, making mistakes. I think the play of the game in the first half for Manchester United was the individual run by Luke Shaw when he just ran past defenders through the middle with his pace. For some reason, defenders were not, you know, going at him. I don't know why. They gave him all kinds of space, and Luke Shaw could have opened the scoreline there. His shot was really nice, and Speroni really got his right hand on the ball, and if he didn't, the scoreline would have been 1-0 at that time. And really, Luke Shaw was, for me, one of the better players for Manchester United on this day. However, I must say that the best chance of the game fell to Frazier Campbell. I think it was 35th, 37th minute of the game. He got a really cool long ball. I don't know who it was from. And Paddy McNair and Daley fell asleep completely, misjudged the ball completely, let it bounce and go over their head completely to Frazier Campbell. He was 1-on-1. All he had to do is chip the keeper, but unfortunately he put it over the bar. Unfortunately for Crystal Palace, unfortunately for Manchester United fans like myself. So I was happy about that, to see him not score. But you know, despite having all kinds of possession, it was Crystal Palace who had a better chance to score in this game, not Manchester United in the first half. So take that as you may. United started the second half the same way that they sort of started the first half. They're putting a lot of pressure on Crystal Palace defense, containing the having all kinds of possession of the football, you know, trying to break down Crystal Palace defense, who were really doing a great job in terms of not breaking down under pressure. Wayne Rooney could have scored the first goal of the game after a great run from Paddy McNair. I did not expect this from him. Apparently he came on to play for Manchester United as a center attacking midfielder, which tells you a lot, you know, and now he's playing as a center back. So he has all the right skills to go forward and really have a good, decent control of the ball, you know, have a good, decent shot and whatnot. So he went forward, and Wayne Rooney should have done a lot better with his shot, but unfortunately he didn't. So the scoreline was still a 0-0. And then later on, Fellaini had a brilliant opportunity from a header. It was a great cross from Wayne Rooney from the corner kick, but unfortunately he was not able to find the target. Moments later, like literally, I think it was like a minute later or two, same sort of deal. Wayne Rooney passes crosses the ball to Fellaini. This time around, he puts it over the bar. The first time was saved, the second time he puts it over the bar. So close to scoring another goal for Manchester United from Fellaini. Now Juan Mata came on for Adnan Januzaj in the second half, and I thought, you know, for me, you know, Januzaj did really good. So if I was the manager, I would have maybe not taken him out. But at the same time, you know, going back to the point that I mentioned earlier, Michael Carrick was only a true center midfielder out there today. So making a substitution, you know, attacking player for attacking player was necessary. You couldn't just, you know, put Mata in, you know, and take out Carrick, because that would have been ridiculous. There would have been zero midfielders who are, you know, real center midfielders on the pitch. So it makes sense that he would come in, and guess what he does? Instant impact from Juan Mata. He scores the first goal of the game. Brilliant shot outside of the box. You know, he really got some power under that shot, but Speroni should have really saved that. I mean, come on, dude. And Speroni should have really done a lot better with his opportunity, you know, to save the shot, but unfortunately he did it for Crystal Palace. Ball went through, and then 1-0. Manchester United were up, and I was relieved, you know, because the pressure was building up. Like I said, the pressure was building up on Manchester United players, and the fans were starting to get, you know, irritating a little bit. And once Manchester United scored, I was like, finally, yes, now we can, you know, I can breathe, you know, easily a little bit. Then James Wilson came on for Angel Di Maria. Once again, I really want to see James Wilson playing more often for Manchester United, and I would not be surprised at all. Right, I'm saying it right here, right now, that I would not be surprised at all that if James Wilson soon, maybe not next game or the game after that, but soon he may, just maybe, will surpass Robin Van Persie in the starting lineup. You heard it here first. At least until Falcao is out. If Falcao is out, I think James Wilson will come and replace Robin Van Persie at some point this season as a striker, because Robin Van Persie for me hasn't been very good this season at all, and James Wilson already shown some promise, and apparently Louis van Gaal likes him just as much as I do. So the game finished 1-0 for Manchester United. You know, there were some nervous moments for United, but at the same time the game was totally controlled from United's perspective. You know, Crystal Palace had that one brilliant chance for Frazier Campbell, and they should have really taken that shot. Who knows what could have happened if he scored? You know, they would have been up 1-0, and perhaps that would have, you know, put more pressure on United, and maybe some players would have crumbled, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, you know, this has been my review of Manchester United's latest Premier League game. In the comments below, let me know what you thought of this game. You know, who is your player of the game? For me, it was definitely Michael Carrick. Really awesome to see him back on the pitch from his injury. Really, I miss this guy. I mean, he's one of the best passers of the game in the Premier League, in my opinion, and really he showed us today. He's also versatile. He can play center back and he can play midfielder. Really good job, you know, on his part today. Also, Luke Shaw played very well, so he might be your choice as a best player today. Juan Mata obviously scored a goal, but for me, Michael Carrick was the #1 player on the pitch today. Anyways, guys, subscribe for more videos like this. You know, I'll be doing a lot more of these game reviews and whatnot. Like the video to show your support, and as always, peace!